Because you don't know. If you did know, you would give me an answer, but you don't know, so you can't. Next.
The argument that you don't know, so I'm right, is such a failed argument, dude.
That's
I'm sorry, no, I didn't say that. I did not say that at all. I said you don't know. Since you said you don't know, you can't tell me I'm wrong. Why? Because you don't know. I do know, sir. Knowledge is a justified true belief. I can justify my position using the scientific method. The only thing you can do is say, "Oh, I don't know." Next.
So you're using
Justify your position. How do you justify that God created everything?
Yes, sir. God is the eternal, universal, and unchanging lawgiver who is the unmoved mover. He is alive. So we are temporal life. That is, we had a beginning and we will have an end. Because of the law of cause and effect, and we are an effect, we are living, intelligent matter. Whatever created us as living, intelligent matter has to be eternal, living, and immaterial, because it couldn't need matter in order to create matter. It couldn't need life in order to create life. It would have to be eternal to create something that is temporal. See how that works? That's just the law of cause and effect, sir. You're not too bright, are you?
So that isn't an argument.
The best you could ever say, the best you can say is something happened.
No, sir. The best I can say is because of science, we know that anything that had a beginning is known as an effect. Every effect must have an adequate cause. The adequate cause of time, space, and matter must be timeless, spaceless, immaterial, all-powerful, all-knowing, a loving, living, logical lawgiver, Elohim. That's God. Now, can you tell me, sir, according to your materialistic worldview, where does time, space, and matter come from?
No idea.
Have a nice day. Next.
That which can be accepted without.
Where does time, space, and matter come from, Mr. Batman?
It comes from a timeless, spaceless, immaterial, all-powerful, all-knowing, loving, living, logical lawgiver God. I can prove each and every one of those points scientifically, sir.
What's the argument for that proposition?
The argument is that whatever caused time, space, and matter to begin did not need time, space, and matter to create time, space, and matter. Would you agree with that? Let's say it one more time. I'll say it a little slower this time. Whatever caused time, space, and matter to begin, that thing or being that caused time, space, and matter, it did not need time, space, and matter in order to create time, space, and matter. Would you agree with that?
I have no idea.
Well, then you just don't have any more argument to do you, sir?
I'm not making an argument, Mr.
Okay, so do you know you're not making an argument? You're the one that doesn't know. The fact of the matter is, time, space, and matter had a beginning. A timeless, spaceless, and immaterial God created it. You said you don't know, so you can't tell me I'm wrong. You know why? Because you don't know. Next.
Here's the thing. You are making a positive claim.
Yes, sir, I am, because I have positive proof.
Okay. So your proof is from necessity, correct?
Speaking, have they offered any kind of alternative?
Not a.
It doesn't matter if there's an alternative, Brett.
They don't know.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter. What did you think?
So you think you're going to do? You believe that atheism is a position of just ignorance and dumbness all damn day, and you get to ask all the questions? Is that how it works?
I'm not making a positive claim. So how come?
I'm sorry, sir. You just made a positive claim. Now, wait a
minute. They are. Whenever you state that you don't believe in the existence of God, you must be convinced there's some other alternative. Are you telling me that you're just ignorant as hell? You don't know anything? You don't have any kind of foundation to stand on?
What if we came out of nothing?
You came out of nothing. Can you demonstrate life coming from nothingness? You see what I mean, Batman? What do we do?
Magic. They believe in magic. Poof, it just occurred. They don't even have a hat for the rabbit to pop out of. It just automatically poofed into existence all by itself. They believe in something beyond magic.
The HT is a theist, but the HT will become devil's advocate. The atheist should just believe in the quantum foam. Everything arose from the quantum foam.
I'm
That's the
sorry, sir.
scientific.
Have we ever
That's
observed
the
this
scientific.
quantum foam?
Excuse me, Mr. Batman.
No, I don't think so, sir. You're making a religious claim that you can't back up with science. I'm talking about observable, testable, repeatable science. That's what I like to do. Now,
So,
once
Mr. Batman,
again, Mr. Zek, where does time, space, and matter come from, and how do you know it?
I have no idea where time, space, or matter came from.
Have a nice day. Next.
The quantum foam.
I know, I love that one.
So where do you go?
Mr. Batman, are you still there?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm busy muting Mr. Zek here. I just am enjoying the hell out of this. He
Yeah, I
keeps
had a no
muting
text
himself,
chat
and I
of
keep
you,
muting
the
him back.
atheist. They're getting.
So, Godless, how have you been? What have you been up to?
My life is always fucked up, you know.
Woof. Well, what can we do to improve it? Please
Oh, well,
don't
I'm
say
really
a lot of
looking forward
money.
to
I ain't
going-
got it.
I'm really looking forward to going on Smokey Saint's stream tonight.
Yeah. I'll be happy to see you guys. You guys are going to enjoy yourself. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, I need to go do a couple things before we get on that stream, so I'll be back later. It's been a pleasure seeing you again, Brother Brett. Tell you what, I
Well,
look
you're
forward to
coming on
listening to Smokey.
the stream tonight, right, Mr. Batman, on Smokey Saint?
Absolutely, unless I fall asleep, which is not very likely, but I will be there.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Okay. Repent or
Sweet.
perish,
Sweet.
boys and girls. Repent and believe the gospel. Read your Bible. Next.
See you in a while, man. 9 o'clock's going to be rolling around no time. So, Godless, what's on your mind? What would you like to talk about while we're waiting for this podcast to open?
I love how cowardly that guy is.
I think it's really funny how they get so emotional. I had to no text chat to people because they couldn't handle Mr. Batman having free reign. Brett, I'm still curious if you're really. I think that you might just be an atheist like me who just hates their fellow atheists and you just troll by pretending to be a Christian. Are you really a Christian?
I've heard people claim that over and over. They say, Brett, are you actually this or that? No, I do believe that there's a God, but like I said in my video, I'm not one of these type of folks who is going to argue that God is always doing something wonderful and great. I believe that God can be quite cruel and mean whenever he chooses to be. So I'm not one of these type of ice cream people who are going to just tell you everything is going to be great and wonderful. It's not.
Oh my gosh.
Is Von Helton still around?
Yeah, old Born Helton. I actually talked to him I actually talked to him over on Wilk and Cage's podcast, and he might actually go over there. Who knows? Nobody really, unfortunately, in Smokey's room, they don't really give a damn about to hear about the his pagan powers about creating invisible walls to protect us from immigrants and illegals and shit. Though, you know, that's not their thing.
He just started galloping all over, making arguments, and not giving anybody adequate time to respond. It is infuriating.
Yeah, but Damon, Zach,
infuriating.
I don't know why you
If I
guys
had the
want to
time-
argue with Mr. Batman when he has unlimited mods. Like, why do you guys do that to yourself?
If he had actually given me enough time, probably any one of us could have destroyed him.
All right.
You're not supposed to try to destroy him. I sit here and watch. It's entertaining to watch him have mods in a debate because he just mutes people.
Did I hear him say evolution is demonstrably false, or was that just my imagination?
The guy who's a little bit upset over there with Mr. Batman, can I ask you something? If you actually had a preference, would you prefer the universe be ran by a god, or do you prefer the atheist universe? Be honest with me.
The atheist universe.
I would
Okay,
prefer.
so you're fine with living in a universe where everyone you love, including your girlfriend, wife, or boyfriend, whatever the case, all of your family is going to simply become nothingness, not even in a memory as the universe is flushed down the toilet. You're good with that. You're
I'm
fine.
fine with that, but
Yes,
honestly,
because
it's better than burning in hell. It's
because
better than
eventually.
anybody who doesn't share my worldview burning in hell.
Now the HC will answer the question. Yes, because in an infinitely long universe, eventually, if there is a deity, he will become evil and subject all the masses to eternal torment. So therefore, the atheistic worldview is what everyone should wish for. So that could
Well,
not
that's an
occur.
interesting view. Do you guys actually believe evil exists? Do you believe objective evil is a real deal?
No, it's all subjective.
Evil's just a label we use.
Well, if you believe that it's nothing more than an opinion, that it's not objective reality, then why even bother questioning the conditions of God then?
I think that's a question for people who do believe in God.
Having a realistic worldview is beneficial.
Okay, how is it beneficial for you exactly?
So imagine if you are looking. So let's say that you're walking. If you don't see a cliff when there is one, then you're going to fall to your death. Correct?
So you're considering it a concept of evil by not being able to see a cliff and falling off of it?
Well, it's just an example. I'm trying to show the point that if you make decisions based on things that don't actually exist, then you aren't going to do as well as somebody who makes decisions based on a correct worldview. So, for example, I am not hindered by, for example, not working on the Sabbath day. Or basically, I can be okay. I'll be fine if I'm gay. Unlike the Christian who suppresses their homosexual urges, for instance.
All right, so I'm not trying to be cold here, but is that one of the reasons why you stepped away from religion or the concept of God, because you feel as though you're being condemned over homosexuality?
No, actually, I was born and raised atheist.
You're born and raised atheist.
Yes.
Okay. You do know that there's a lot of people out there who say they're bisexual or homosexual who are a part of certain denominations and churches. Not every Christian out there has like some kind of chip on their shoulder about homosexuals.
Yes, I know. It was just an example about how Christians basically suffer because of their incorrect worldview.
You feel like you suffer because of Christians' worldview?
I'm saying that incorrect beliefs can lead to suffering.
I hear you. And I understand that a lot of you could probably go back into the Old Testament and pull out some tribalistic Levitical laws. But when you got a guy like Jesus is telling people to love your enemy, do unto others you want done unto you, treat people right and all that, love, compassion, all that, then I have a hard time understanding why any Christians would even bother with it. Besides, the book of James actually says all sin is equal. So if a Christian's getting on to you for your homosexuality, there's about 100 different damn things you can list off to state, well, you're in the same, ballpark as me. Sin's equal.
Well, okay. Like I said, it was just an example, and it's not about how I suffer at their hands. It's how they suffer at their own hands because of their belief.
How do you think they're suffering exactly?
Well, like I said, you believe something is sin while it actually isn't. you're going to avoid doing something that might actually be good for you.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're saying that because the Christian may have some kind of homosexual thoughts or whatever, if they just go through with it, it may turn out good for them, and they're stopping themselves from getting into something that you think might be beneficial. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but wouldn't it, I understand from a homosexual's point of view, isn't it just as beneficial just to be happy with a female or a woman? Why would you have to go a different direction in order to get the same amount of pleasure?
All right, let's get it. Let's use a different, more obvious example. For example, I believe that originally Jesus were thought to be
anyone
examples.
in this discussion trying to carry me in Rocket League, hit me up.
Examples. Oh my God, Henry, can you shut up? Okay, so diseases used to be shown as products of sins, and people were encouraged to repent in order to get cured. So instead of actually trying to cure cancer, you just confessed. Religion basically has that kind of stuff.
It's true that there are some Christians out there like Jehovah's Witnesses, and I know some Christians wouldn't even say Jehovah's Witnesses are Christian, but I don't give a damn. They believe in Jesus. That's enough for me. But it seems that I hear what you're saying. There's some of them where they're like, they won't do a blood transfusion. They're just going to sit at home and pray. And I feel like that's dangerous. But on the other hand, Christians have actually created computers. Charles Babbage invented the computer. A lot of Christians have been involved in creating the hospitals and medical fields and equipment that is used to save people. So sometimes I think it's best for a religious person to have the mindset that maybe instead of sitting around just praying all day, that God gave us the brain and the power to create healing mechanisms to be able to help people.
Yeah, so the entire point, additionally, prayer. Being an atheist really gives me the advantage of having a free hour every day where I actually get to improve myself or have fun instead of engaging in prayer, which leads to basically no effect. Additionally, those Christians did this stuff in spite of their Christianity, not because of it.
Are you, I don't know if you realize this or not, and I've talked about this in the past. I know Godless has heard me bring this up, but did you know, and I'm not just talking about Christians, I'm talking about people who are into spirituality and believe in God or some kind of prime mover. According to stats, religious people tend to live longer, happier, more content, peaceful lives, is where atheists, transsexuals, and homosexuals tend to live less life, and the suicide rate is through the roof, even over that of Islam, believe it or not. Yeah, you can look that up. They've got a high suicide rate. That's something atheists have been debating about for the last couple of years.
Well, I'm pretty sure the data shows that Muslims have the lowest, and Christians come in second place.
Well, first of all, atheists also tend to be, on average, more intelligent than theists, which is a potential cause for their.
So you believe that intelligence may cause someone to want to hang themselves in the fucking coat closet or slit their wrist?
Yes.
You know, atheists
people are less happy.
Right. Atheists will say, "Oh, yeah, it's better off. We're happier without God." But then they turn around and they accuse Christians of just believing in God because it makes them like it's comforting. But then they say it's not comforting. So they're just contradicting themselves.
It is comforting to know you're going to heaven.
There's a quote.
Well, it's not just the concept of going to heaven and having an eternity of bliss and peace. It's the idea that if there's a God, this also gives a lot to you as a person. It says that you have an objective purpose and meaning and existence, that you're not just a fucking bottle of Windex floating around and stimulated by your environment, that there's more to you than just being an animated fucking hamburger. Go ahead, guys.
Well, I guess
I'm going to be the best animated hamburger to ever exist.
But really, it's just a delusion. I would rather be sad with the truth than happy with a lie.
But aren't you the one earlier who said that you don't know the answers, so you don't actually have the truth? That's got to make you fucking miserable. Realizing that your position has brought you to a dead end, that you're not going to have a naturalistic explanation. How will it hurt you to continue to be a truth seeker and open-minded to other ideas?
Well, it doesn't really hurt me that much at all. I'm going to stay open-minded. I'm pretty sure that there isn't a God, because I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to spend my life reaching something that might not be there.
You've been wrong and right before throughout your life. How old are you? You sound like you're between 20 and 30 years old. Am I right?
No, I'm actually 16.
16? Goodness gracious. Quite mature and intelligent for your age. Good man. Good man. You're going to be wrong tons and tons of times, man. What the point is that you actually try to find meaning with yourself and continue to seek the truth. Be open-minded. Don't close yourself off like some of these fucks in these rooms.
Isn't settling on a belief without evidence closing your mind?
It's not just about the evidence. It's the journey, the adventure of trying to understand the truth, trying to understand yourself internally as well as the universe. That's all a part of the truth.
I see. Well, I'm probably going to go now. It's been nice talking.
All right, man. It was nice talking to you as well. I heard a couple people giggling. You don't think you can find the truth internally? Was that funny? Was I a comedian? I thought the animated hamburger was a hell of a lot funnier.
That might have been my brother.
Which truth are you referring to?
Oh, my younger brother. He is. When I told him to shut up.
I am cool.
So
I gotta be honest with you. That argument of the reason why atheists has such a high suicide rating or stats is because they're fucking so smart. Is like, I really don't know what to say to that. I'm smart, so now it's time to run my head into a fucking train track. I mean, wow.
Actually, have a higher average IQ according to statistics. It doesn't mean that you're smart because you're an atheist. It's just because smart people tend to gravitate towards atheism.
Well, let me ask you something. If that were true, and I'm not trying to be cold, because there is some fantastic atheists who work in the science community and all that. You do realize that 90 to 95% of scientists throughout history have been theists. And sure, you can argue, well, what about these people long ago? Albert Einstein himself was recorded and documented for saying, the more I study science, the more I believe in God. What do you think? He was just having a fucking brain fart at the time when he said that?
That's actually kind of a rabbit hole.
Who said that?
No.
Albert Einstein and Charles Darwin said in the book Descent of Man that he considers himself a theist, and he does not see how the process of nature could exist without an intelligent mind and logos.
Yeah, I'm not saying that all smart people are atheists. Like I said.
Hold on. Did you just say that Darwin considered himself a theist because he couldn't see how it could have come about without a god, essentially?
Yes.
Well, anybody that reads The Descent of Man or any of his works and all that, they're going to see that he was very theistic. It was actually the church who funded a lot of his exploration.
Okay, hold on.
He didn't just sit around and fucking pray about
this. Did he say this, or did you just read between the lines?
This is in his books. He actually refers to himself as a theist, which means that he believes in an intelligent mind, a god.
That sounds a lot like a quote mine to me, because there's also a lot of things come up with the anti-evolution arguments when it comes to Darwin's own beliefs. A lot of times his comments on the complexity of the eye are brought up as proof that he didn't believe in his own theory, which is just a quote mine. So I'm just, do you happen to have a source for that?
Hold on, I was trying to grab you something. I just told you it's the book Descent of Man.
Yeah, I understand that, Brett, but I'm not going to read his entire book to find where he's saying this. So I'm just asking if you have like a page number or something like that.
What would be better for you? What would be the alternative? I'm giving you from the horse's mouth. I'm telling you, it's in the book over and over and over.
Do you have a page?
What page?
Yeah, do you know what page it's on? That's why I'm asking for a source.
Information, since nobody knows how to do a Google
search. Oh my god, I just
appreciate that. Thank you.
Wikipedia. It's right there. I posted a link. That might be better. Okay, so the actual atheism has only now been getting pretty big. I mean, in secular education, when it comes to time, well, basically everything was the church up until recently.
He called himself an agnostic in a letter to his friend.
Yeah, he claims he's an agnostic.
Here you go, guys.
Takashi,
Not only am I going to give you Charles Darwin, but I'm also going to give you Albert Einstein and some of the other people I mentioned. I'm going to post this right there. There you go. You're going to be able to see literally 95% of scientists have been known to be theists. And there you go. And I know some of you are going to say, well, yeah, a couple hundred years ago, everybody believed all that kind of stuff. Well, we've got the folks who actually came up with the concept of physics, as well as a lot of the things that we do nowadays, string theory, so on. There's the quotes right there. And what's beautiful is it's not some kind of atheist meme where they don't even put references. You're going to see what page number, what fucking book.
Where are you posting this?
It's right there in the screen. Can't you see it?
That's because there are so many theists in the world. I mean, let's look at Takashi. He said out of the top 10 IQ people in the world, 8 were theists. Well, if we look up the percent of atheists in the world, only 7% were atheists.
All right, I'll tell you what, I make a deal.
Where are you posting this thing?
I posted it
right
on
there
the
in general.
Chat. Yeah, right there in the main chat for you.
It's a Christian website.
It's got the quotes and the page numbers. What do you think? I'm going to give you a fucking Buddhist site? Where do you expect my shit to come from? Come on, guys.
I don't know. I was just an actual page number for a quote.
All right, the guy that's out there, can you do me a favor? The guy who says atheists tend to be smart. Can you give me 3 atheist scientists who've actually created something that is necessary in everyone's life nowadays? Anything. Just 3.
What do you consider necessary in everybody's life?
Just necessary. The computers you use, the very concept of computers were invented by Christians. Everything around you, from your medical equipment, when you go to the doctor, 90% of that shit done by theists. Name 3 atheists you can think of that did something that actually fucking had a personal impact on your life that actually helps you in some kind of way.
Again, you're putting a specific constraint on that. The 3 atheists that did something that impacted my life. That doesn't necessarily mean like the highest sciences don't necessarily impact your life day to day.
I'm saying 3 atheists in the science community that has done something that actually changed. You can throw out Stephen Hawking if you want to, but the only thing he did for us was tell us there's fucking holes in space. That don't do shit for nobody.
It will eventually. Give it a minute.
Yeah, sooner or later we're going to get sucked in there and nobody's going to give a fuck. We won't even know who Stephen Hawking is if that happens. But name 3 atheist scientists that's actually done something that's actually revolutionized our world besides them inventing some weapons. Come on, people.
Alan Turing?
Well, aren't weapons like revolutionizing the world anyway when it comes to the medical field?
Yeah, when you need to kill somebody. Then
you need to figure out how to fuck that person you just killed.
Don't we have Elon Musk? That's one.
Elon Musk is one. Yeah, he's going to get space travel. That's going to be important soon.
Is he actually an
Yep.
atheist, though? Doesn't he talk about life forms in the universe? He believes that there's more entities and dimensional shit like Carl Sagan did, right?
Well, what
Well,
does
if you
that have
just
to
make
do with
everything
God?
like an atheist versus Christian
Well,
thing,
some
then-
religious people, believe it or not, they actually define God as a powerful alien-like entity, an intelligence that exists outside of the universe through dimensions. Depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah, but the problem with that is you have no way of actually knowing that.